Ladies and gentlemen, recently I had an opportunity to see an absolutely hilarious film called Win a Trip to Browntown. I'm extremely honored to be joined by two of the principals of this film. We have the writer, director, producer, star. I think he worked on craft services as well, George Tramontanis, and as well we have the amazingly funny Kendra McDermott. Welcome to you both.
Thank you
Thank
very much.
you. So excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. So first of all, before we get into this phenomenal film, how did you two come to know each other?
Just through the casting process, I was very fortunate. This was all cast locally in Seattle, where we're from, and I put out ads a bunch of places, and I received many calls. And Kendra just had all the qualities I was looking for. Go ahead, Kendra, why don't you tell them what happened when you saw the audition sign?
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the audition of notification, it just had mentioned that it would be a kind of a Kevin Smith meets like a parenthood type movie, kind of raunchy comedy, but like very sweet at the heart. And didn't really give away what the premise was too much. So did the audition, and George was very strategic about what scenes he picked. So I didn't really get a full sense of what the film was about until I got called back for a callback. And then at that point, he gave me the entire script and was like, here's what you're in for. Which, I read it and I thought it was hilarious. I laughed, I cried. I pretty much was like, I have to be in this film in any capacity. You will not get rid of me.
I love that. And one of the reasons I asked is because meeting you both for the first time, it feels to me like you guys have collaborated before. And even though, I mean, the good people at IMDb did not confirm that, the relationship between you two on screen and the camaraderie, it's just like your comedy just flows naturally together. So I'm actually, surprised that it came from the casting process, but at the same token, what a goldmine for you, George.
No question about it. Yeah, like I said, we both have similar stories, I guess, a little bit. I mean, we're both parents of kids. We're both trying to do this dream on the side. And we both have similar sensibilities, all of which I picked up in her interview or her audition. And we were just very lucky to find each other.
I love that. So let's take a moment. George, I suppose, would you like to tell the good people a little bit about your movie?
Sure. So, as Kendra sort of mentioned, the way I like to describe it is the Steve Martin Parenthood movie with a Kevin Smith Clerk sensibility. Another way is to say it's American Pie for adults. The story is about Frank Segas, played by myself, and he's kind of going through a little bit of a midlife crisis. Anybody who's ever chased a dream usually comes up against a cross where they have to decide, do I still go after the dream, or do I, go up for a different dream, family, children. And this character made the family decision, but, they always wondered, and that weighs on him. And so in order to alleviate all this stress, his wife makes him a little bet to help him get healthy and to think better, that if he can lose 50 pounds in 3 months, she'll allow him to win a trip to Browntown. And then, of course, the journey goes on, and he comes to realize that he made the best decision of all many years back.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Now, listen, here's the thing. As I alluded to earlier, you wrote the script, you directed it, you star in it, you produced it. I know that you have many family members who are involved with it. But hang on, let's stop the presses here. You also lost 50 pounds during the production of this film. Take that, Daniel Day-Lewis. Are you kidding me? Can you tell me about that? I mean, so first of all, you've got all of the stress and the pressure of this film, but then on top of that, you decide, hey, I'm gonna lose weight as well.
Well, so that's where the idea for the film came from. The the raunchy joke aspect of it. But on a sad note, my mom passed away from cancer in 2016, and I'd been stress eating, and just from raising kids and everything, I put on a lot of weight, and I was thinking, what would make somebody want to lose a bunch of weight? And, short of $1 million. And I came up with this idea, and I asked some friends who I consider normal. And they were all like, oh yeah, that's totally something husbands think about it. I was like, okay. So I wrote the script, and initially I did hold auditions, but I guess since I wrote it based a lot on my own personality, we didn't quite see what we were looking for. And I don't think many people were willing to lose 50 pounds in 3 months. Mm-hmm. So because everybody had jobs, we filmed it over weekends for 3 months, where I lost 50 pounds during the whole time. So I was going a little bit out of my mind, but I have good family at home to keep me straight. So
yeah. Well, first of all, sorry for the loss of your mom, but congratulations on that achievement. That's fantastic. And one of the things that I really enjoyed as I'm watching this film is you could tell that you guys had fun making it. In addition to your fantastic performances, we've also got this great supporting cast as well. We've got like your sister and your friend. We've got like the kids at home. We've got the coworkers. So you kind of have like that devil on the shoulder type of thing with your coworkers. So not to leave out like the mean mom parade as well. So I think like from top to bottom, like the entire ensemble really delivered in this film, and you could tell that everybody was really enjoying themselves during the making of it.
Oh, good. I'm glad that came across.
Yeah.
Yeah, the casting was amazing. And I think especially like George did a lot of like chemistry tests with different people. And so just even in the auditioning process, we all got a chance to like see each other and work with each other and kind of build that natural rapport and different rehearsals and stuff. But yeah, I mean, the actors in Seattle are amazing. Seattle does not get enough props for what we have in the area. Because I mean, these are all local talent that got paid next to nothing, mostly because we just love George's story and really wanted to be a part of it. And so, yeah, I mean, yeah, like you've seen, Heather Reynosa is amazing. Philip Silva is amazing. I mean, there's so many amazing actors in this film that are just hilarious and just absolutely hit it out of the park.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because I found in addition to obviously the main plot that we've talked about, some of the subplots were also very interesting in terms of like, the realism of dealing with a kid at home who's like, wetting the bed, in terms of trying to fit in with the moms and things of that nature. So I really like the authenticity that the film brought. When was it filmed?
We filmed the summer of 2019. Wait, is that right? Yeah, 2019, right before. So this last summer before the pandemic hit.
Okay. I'm finding right now that there's a real focus on independent film, and we're seeing a lot of great films like yours with wonderful storytelling. Do you think that this is kind of like a film? This time is great for filmmakers, as the playing field has been somewhat leveled in terms of a lot of the big blockbusters are kind of waiting for a more opportune time if you would like to open, and you're seeing a lot of strong independent films like yours kind of coming to the forefront now?
I would say yes. There are, as you mentioned, a lot of bigger productions have been put on hold. So a lot of filmmakers who are independent are having to get very creative in coming out with their films, in the story and the way they're making the films too, because of the limitations. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a good time because, well, I don't know. You go check in the theaters right now and it's superhero, explosion. So it's great to have all these other venues to see these movies. Although I do like the superhero movie myself.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like a lot of films that have been made in Seattle that are kind of more low budget independent films. Like we had Paper Tigers that was filmed here that did really well. We've had Potato Dreams of America. That's been doing really well. And I think exactly right. Like people are looking for like authentic stories and are just craving that. I know for myself, I have been craving more comedies on streaming services, especially during the pandemic. You know, you go on Netflix and you're like, where are the comedies? Like I need to laugh. And so thankful that Browntown is getting a chance to get seen by a large audience, being a small independent film that we're getting our shot. So hopefully everybody gets a chance to see it and get to laugh for a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kendra, I have to tell you something. So I was interviewed the other day and somebody said, you know, it's kind of a rapid fire segment. And somebody asked me drama or comedy. And I said, well, you know what, in all honesty, because comedy isn't always done right. So I'll probably take drama. But then I see there's one particular scene, and I don't want to give it away, but I'll say it's the pick your kid up from school scene. And I am dying. I am laughing my head off. And that was just such I mean, your whole performance in the film was great and I really enjoyed it. But I want you to know, I needed to go back and change my answer because you absolutely nailed what I am going to call right here, beginning of March, the funniest scene of 2022. So thank you so much for that. That was phenomenal.
That is amazing to hear. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That was a interesting day of filming.
to say the least. So in regards to distribution, what do the distribution plans look like for this film? Because I want to make sure as many people as possible can see it.
Sure. We are being distributed by Gravitas Ventures, and they're a great company. We will be out beginning March 22nd. We are available for pre-orders now on Apple TV and iTunes. But starting March 22nd, pretty much all VOD platforms you can go to. That's places to purchase, of course, for rental and stuff. Amazon, Vudu,
Microsoft. Google.
Yeah, Microsoft. Yeah. Might be PlayStation too. They're pretty much all of them. And we've been told that there's going to be stores carrying some DVDs, we're hoping. So that'll be fun too.
Yeah, like Walmart, Barnes and Noble, Best Buy. And then if you're on cable, I don't know what kind of cable you guys have up in Canada, but it'll be on Dish Network. It'll be on like Cox Cable, different. What cable do you guys have in? Do you guys have cable?
How do you guys get your television up there in Canada? Yeah, we have several providers. So, and we have different on-demand services, and so I'm thinking that we'll. I mean, we definitely have iTunes and the Play Store, but I'm sure we'll be able to get it on our directly from our cable providers as well.
Exactly.
So, excellent. Well, I definitely want to see you guys collaborate again in the future. This is a team that works. George, very smart of you to not only cast this incredible human being beside you on screen here, but also in regards to getting your family involved as well. That's genius. I love that. Before we wrap up today, I want to take you guys through some rapid fire questions, if that's okay. That's it. Rub the hands together. Get ready. So the first question I always ask in rapid fire, and again, there's no right or wrong answers. These are your answers. Just try not to take 10 minutes on it. That's the term rapid. What is your favorite movie of all time? And because that can be somewhat challenging, if you want to give me a top three, that's perfectly fine as well. So whoever wants to start with that, feel free.
I'll go with Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
Dude, I gotta go with Legally Blonde, Miss Congeniality, anything with a hot, tough blonde that's hilarious. I love it.
I love it. Okay.
90s. 2000s.
I like that. Other than obviously promoting this film, did you come up with any sort of like new hobbies or so during the pandemic?
This film was my other hobby during the pandemic. I have two kids, the two oldest kids who are also the stars of the film. And we were all here. They were doing schooling here and I was trying to work and the movie. And then occasionally I get to read some of my comic books that you see back there. And that was my time.
Okay.
I would say the first half of the pandemic, we learned a lot about like cocktail making and had a bunch of like cocktail kits.
Okay.
And then the second half of the pandemic was me switching everything to non-alcoholic. And I don't think I've had anything to drink for like the last half of the pandemic because it was too much.
Okay, fair. In this film, of course, we meet a lovable character who decides that he is going to lose 50 pounds for himself and slash his partner. What is the craziest thing that you have ever done for a significant other?
Ooh. I
can say our significant others, the craziest thing both of them did was letting us do this film. What I've done for them pales in comparison.
All right.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, my wife and I have been together for over 25 years, so we've done a lot of crazy things, but I'm trying to think of the absolute wackiest. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You can piggyback off of Kendra's answer. It's pretty solid.
I would consider myself a Laura Segas type person in real life. So, a wild and crazy Friday night is, some Netflix and back to popcorn.
Fair enough. Now, a lot of times people watching this channel are aspiring filmmakers, aspiring actors. What sort of advice would you give to them as they're embarking in this industry?
I'll go first, I guess. I would recommend, first educate yourself, read, watch films, study, see what works, practice making films, and then when you're ready, just start making them or start writing. I mean, it's one thing, how do I put it? A lot of times people get paralyzed by all the information coming in. Just start doing it and you'll realize what works and doesn't work. I made a lot of mistakes before we got to Browntown. And then once you do it too, if you're making an independent film, write what you know, write what you love, write what you have. Because as I mentioned, I came up with the idea at the back end of 2016, and it's been now, gosh, it's been close to 5 years, I guess, since I really started putting pen on the paper. But you're going to be working on that film and with that film a while, so make sure it's something you care about and enjoy.
Absolutely.
Kendra, you have anything for the actors out there?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, be in it for the long haul. I see a lot of actors when they first start and they think they're going to just be that overnight success. And that's just not what this industry is. This is literally like a lifelong journey of which there is no destination. You're just kind of in it because you love it and you are just excited to tell stories and excited to create and collaborate with other people. And that there's no time limit. Here I am doing my first debut feature film in middle age with 2 children, and there's no time limit. Just if you love it, do it.
Absolutely. They said that Samuel L. Jackson's career didn't start when he was a teenager by any means. And look at him now. So I don't know. Am I saying you're the next Sam Jackson? I hope so, because I think you're amazing. So I want to thank you both so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I wish you guys sincerely all the best with this film. It's coming out in a time when we really need to laugh, and it definitely delivers from that perspective. So George, Kendra, thank you both so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. Again, the name of the film is Win a Trip to Browntown. It comes out the 22nd of March. Yes. So make sure you go and check it out. Thanks so much for your time, guys.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Such a great talk. So glad you loved the movie.